What is up, everyone? My name is Mr. J, and today I am bringing you a Digimon deck profile. I am live on Twitch right now, but we are just doing the Etemon deck profile. So I got third place with the MetalEtemon deck / poop deck, King Sukamon deck, and we're gonna go. I was very surprised to get third place. I was in the finals. The match is on the channel if you want to watch it. But yeah, I'm gonna go over my deck profile and then just talk about the changes I would make to the poop deck. So first off, we have 4 Pagumon for your babies. Pagumon is obviously the best one. There's no other egg for black, unfortunately, because Pagumon is kind of mid. It'll send your Tamers to the bottom, options to the bottom, but you gotta play it. Chumon, 4 copies of Chumon. That's the old Chumon. Of course, you have to play 4 copies of it, and then 4 copies of the new Chumon. So this Chumon in particular, I don't like it. So your turn when this Digimon will digivolve into a card with Sukamon in its name, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So a lot of your level 4s will only be a 1 to Digivolve cost. The problem with this is that it's 1 to Digivolve in the raising area, so it's kind of trash. Honestly, I don't like it. The inheritable though is on deletion. If this Digimon has Sukamon or Etemon in its name, you may play 1 Chumon from your trash. So it's good to keep up the pressure and the board presence. But for 1 to Digivolve, like it should have been like 1 to Digivolve, because most 1 to Digivolve dual colors, like say the Dracomon or the new Agumon, it's 0 to Digivolve on a particular egg. This one's just 1 to Digivolve. So it's a hefty price, really hefty. And then for our last rookies, we are running 4 copies of Chikurimon. So again, players can't reduce play costs. Comes up because we do tend to go wide, and then Death Xmon is a problem, right? Death Xmon will de-digivolve everything and then pop all your little dudes. So you need to play 4 Chikurimon. It's mandatory. You could play the de-digivolve one, but honestly, this one's just better. Plus, it's really good against Crossheart. That's another reason you play it. Okay, moving on to the level 4s, we have 4 copies of the new Sukamon, 4 copies of the Jerrymon, 3 copies of Sukamon, the old Sukamon, and 1 copy of Nanimon. This one's pretty good just because when on deletion you get to reveal top 3 and pretty much search Chumon, Sukamon, or Etemon. I don't know why it doesn't say you can't search Numemon. So that's kind of, it's again, I don't understand. The inheritables, when this Digimon would be deleted by deleting 1 other Digimon with Sukamon in its name, prevent that deletion. I don't like that effect either because they should have said delete 1 other Digimon with Sukamon, Chumon, or Nanimon, Numemon in name. So a lot of the times, it just sucks. This pretty much says that you have to delete your level 4 or higher to keep the Digimon in the field. That's what I don't like. Moving on to the Jerrymon, this one is also treated as Numemon. It says by trashing 1 card in hand, by trashing 1 card with Numemon, Sukamon, Nanimon, or Etemon in its name, draw 2 cards. Perfect. The Destiny Draw effect is really good because you want some of the Sukamons in trash. The problem is that his name is Numemon and it's not Sukamon. So that'll make your level 5s a 4 Digivolve cost. And no, it's not good. It's not good. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here. It's just that they could have made these cards better. Like with Melga out, Black War Greymon out, the new War Greymon X deck, just War Greymon and BT12 coming up. These decks are kind of, these effects are mid. They're very mid because they could have made it more powerful if they wanted to, and then Bandai just chose not to make it more powerful. Like this one, if you could Digivolve on top of him for a 3 cost, that would have been nice, but they chose not to. This Sukamon is also, maybe that's what's called the poop deck, dude, because it's kind of trash. On deletion, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 Chumon among them without paying its memory cost, and then place the remaining cards at the bottom. This one's also really good just for keeping the board presence. The problem is that we only have 2 Chumons right now in the TCG. So most of the time you'll whiff, but when it comes up, it's nice when it comes up. Moving on to your top end, we have 4 copies of King Sukamon, 3 copies of the new Etemon, and then 4 copies of the old Etemon. 4 copies of King Sukamon, arguably it could be switched, where this is 3 and this is 4, right? Because the Etemon is really good for killing off rookies and also giving your opponent sec -1. Really good. The problem is that you need to, it's when digivolving or on play. When digivolving, you can use a Sukamon that's in sources, and on play you could discard the Sukamon from your hand to get the effect. But the fact that you need to discard a Sukamon for the effect is the trash part. Because why wasn't it just when digivolving you get to do it? Why do you have to discard something like remove a resource? Like I said, Metal Greymon, like think about Metal Greymon, the BT11 Metal Greymon and then the Metal Greymon X antibody. You don't need to discard anything from those Digimon to get the effect. But for some reason with the Etemon, you have to do it. It's why? Why Bandai? So I don't like that. You need to have another piece in order to activate the effect. The inheritable is the same as the Sukamon, the same as the King Sukamon. But the Etemon, I really missed it. I had it at 3 copies. I wish I had it at 4 copies, honestly. Because sometimes you need to remove some bodies off the board. The King Sukamon is the famous one. So if you have 3 or more Digimon with Sukamon in its name in the trash, you do get to turn one of your opponent's Digimon into a white Digimon with 3 KDP and original name of Sukamon until the end of your opponent's turn. Very important that it does not change the effects. It's not like a vanilla Digimon. So they still keep the effects, but it does affect certain decks because it's a white Digimon. And then of course you can't digivolve on top of it because it's a white Digimon most of the time. The good part about this one is like when attacking for each other Digimon with Sukamon in its name, this Digimon gains sec +1. So this one's really nice. So for every other Sukamon, say you have 2 on board, you could potentially swing for 3 checks, but it's only 6 KDP, so it might get deleted. And yeah, sometimes you have the inheritable under, and you can do the 3 checks and then delete another Sukamon, and then protect it from getting deleted by, you know, sacrificing another Sukamon. But yeah, 4 copies, I don't mind it. Like I said, I would have changed this one. So the old Etemon, let me just show you my top end real quick. So I'm running 4 copies of, yeah, I'm gonna start running over. 4 copies of the new Etemon and then 2 copies of the old Etemon. So Etemon here is a blocker. This is the old Etemon, but also on deletion, you get to reveal top 5 cards and then you get to play 1 level 6 Digimon with Etemon in its name. This one's gonna be really good in the future because I'm pretty sure the new Etemon is a level 6 Etemon. So luckily it just has Etemon in the name. It has to be level 6. So you can play the old Metal Etemon or you can play the new Metal Etemon, and that one's really busted when you get to play this one for free off the deletion effect of him. But honestly, I would drop him down to 2 copies. So for sure play for a full playset of the new Etemon and then drop this one down to 2 copies. Also, I didn't tell you guys before, but I'm running 1 Nanimon because I didn't have the 4 Sukamon, and to be honest, this should be a Mechanorimon. 2 of the old Metal Etemon, this one was trash, it never came up. It is unblockable, which it can come up, but sometimes like I ran into so many Chaosdramon players that this never came up. So honestly, what would I run instead? I'm thinking of like Gankumon. Some people run the Venusmon, but the whole point of this deck is to rush your opponent down. So Gankumon has a sec +1 if your opponent has an unsuspended Digimon, then also deletes all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So it can delete wide boards, but the Gankumon can also delete a 1-stack deck, right? If it has no protection. But it's really up to you, man, because the Metal Etemon, like I said, I wouldn't play it again. Moving on, we have 4 copies of Izzy-Azumi. The glare there is going to be very annoying. 4 copies of Izzy-Azumi. 2 copies of Cootie's Kick. I thought I had 4 oh, it is 3 copies. 3 copies of Cootie's Kick. This one was really nice because it makes it unblockable, and then on deletion you gain 3 memory. It works with most of the Archetype Digimon. So yeah, Numemon, Sukamon, Nanimon, or Etemon in its name can be blocked, and then on deletion gains 3 memory. That is until the end of your opponent's turn. So you could put it on the old Etemon, and then on deletion you'll gain 3 memory, and then you get to reveal top 5. So that was really nice, but I think honestly I would cut it down to 2. It doesn't come up. It is a 1 cost if you have a Black Tamer in play, which is why I run the Izzy Azumi at 4 copies, and I will talk about that in a second. And then for the last 2 cards, we have 1 copy of Ultimate Flare and then 1 copy of DG Dimension. So this one was nice. I like playing 2 different ones because I like training my opponent. Like you could set them up and Ultimate Flare them. This one, Ultimate Flare them the first game, and then the second or third game you do the DG Dimension, and then that's just to keep them on their toes, right? So I like having 2 different ones. I love it. I love doing that to my opponent where they expect the Ultimate Flare, and then you have the other card. That one's really nice. The last thing I want to talk about was the 4 Izzies. I want to drop it down to 3 copies, but I like the Izzy because of the mini Hammer Spark and security. As you noticed, all my Digimon are black. All the cards are black. So if you hit the Izzy in security, your opponent will lose a memory. So I guess it's like X antibody, or in security, you'll lose a memory. So, or you gain a memory, my bad. So sometimes it does happen where they're at 0, they hit an Izzy in security, they're gonna reveal I'm gonna reveal top 3, and I am going to gain the memory because I'm playing all black cards. So I like the Izzy Plus being set to 3, especially when all your level 4s are super cheap to play. So when you think back to the level 4s here, 3 to play, 3 to play, 3 to play, and then even the Nanimon is 3 to play. So being able to, you set yourself to 3, and then you could potentially play, you could do 2 plays guaranteed, right? You could actually play 2 level 4s if you wanted. But what are the changes I'm gonna make? So if I play this deck again, I am definitely changing these cards out. So this should be a 4th Etemon. The 2 Etemon blockers I'm going to keep there. But these 2 MetalEtemons, I'm going to try 2 Gankumons. Again, you could personal preference, but I think Gankumon, I really liked it in, what is it, BT6 or whenever it came out. I really like the Gankumon, so I'm going to play Gankumon instead of these MetalEtemons. This one, and then these 2 are, I'm just going to play Death Exmon. Like if you don't want to play Death Exmon, that's cool, but I think if you want to take this to locals and you want to have a fighting chance, you have to play Death Exmon because this deck really needs removal. Like that's the whole thing. It could spam the board, but it has no removal besides the Etemon. So you either play Death Exmon or you play like Omnimon Alter S, even Omnimon Alter S, but you have to play some type of removal. I wouldn't suggest, maybe you could play more of the option cards if you don't have Death Exmon, but I think for real, if I take this back, it's going to be 2 copies of Death Exmon, and then like I said, 2 copies of Gankumon. Alright, but let me put these back in order. But yeah guys, that is the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. It's a fun deck. I don't regret playing it at locals. I like legit, I just picked it up, I made it, and then I took it to locals, and I still had a lot of fun. I'm so glad I made it to the finals. I wish I had taken 1st place because that would have been a good story to tell, but you know, maybe next time. But yeah, anyways, yeah, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, follow me on Twitch, I am live on Twitch. But yeah, thank you all for watching. My name is Mr. J, and I will see you all next time.